Good morning, everyone. This is Land on the Go with all you need to know on news and weather as you begin your day.
31-year-old Andrew Thorson of Rapid City has been sentenced to 55 years in prison for killing 24-year-old Danny Aronson in 2021. Aronson's body was found along Highway 16 in Pennington County in November 2021. An autopsy found the manner of death to be homicide.
He had been shot in the head twice. Authorities arrested 31-year-old Andrew Thorson and 27-year-old Jacob Staton for the crime. Staton was charged with accessory to a felony, and Thorson pleaded guilty to first-degree manslaughter. We're getting a closer look at the chase that led to a deadly crash earlier this week in Yankton. This video shows police waiting for the car to pull into Yankton. As you can see, there's quite a bit of traffic on the highway, which is lined with businesses on both sides. An officer can be seen pulling something on the road before the red car speeds past.
Moments later, the driver loses control and crashes into a semi on the opposite side of the road. Two of the three people inside the car were pronounced dead at the scene. Authorities have identified them as 27-year-old Anna Selwyn and 26-year-old Gabriel Ortega, both of Sioux City, Iowa. The third person inside the car is in critical condition. Wednesday, the Minnehaha County Sheriff's Office arrested two people in connection with multiple Brookings County burglaries. Police arrested 32-year-old Quentin Schmidt and 27-year-old Brianna Pearson. Both have been charged with possession, distribution, grand theft, and burglary.
On May 1st, Brookings County Sheriff's Office executed a search warrant after an investigation of burglaries in nearby towns. During the search, meth, drug paraphernalia, guns, and many stolen items were recovered in connection with the burglaries. The Sheriff's Office then issued arrest warrants for both Pearson and Schmidt, who fled the area during the time of the search. A decades-old South Dakota cold case has been solved. In 1976, a man drowned in the Missouri River near Pierre, but he couldn't be identified at the time.
Thanks to technology, the unknown man has been identified as 39-year-old Stephen Earl Boyce. A local family has tended to his grave over the years.
It's always bothered me that there was a person who ended up here and no one knew who he was.
Boyce was buried as an unknown man. Now he has a headstone with his full name on it at Riverside Cemetery in Pierre.
Now let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Brian Carstens. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, everybody. We continue to watch the weather today with developing showers and thunderstorms as temperatures will be warm. Central, eastern Kettleland probably see these numbers again in the 70s to near 80 degrees, while western South Dakota, better chance for more widespread rain, thicker clouds. Temperatures will be cooler. Rapid City's high at 60. And we'll continue with these rain chances over the next couple of days, even lasting into Mother's Day, where it looks like we may start with light rain showers, followed by a slow decrease in cloud cover, highs in the 60s and 70s by Sunday. More details on your forecast, including that chance for severe weather with Brian Carstens coming up.
Thank you, Scott. Today marks a tragic anniversary for family members grieving the death of a Lincoln High School teacher.
Annie Lanning died in the derecho that swept through her Sioux Falls neighborhood last year. Relatives are clinging to the memories they have of Lanning to help them come to terms with her death.
Shortly before Annie was killed, we had taken a family trip to South Dakota. We were all together, like the week before. And it was the best trip. We had so much fun. In fact, on the way home, we were all like, wow, that was really a good trip. We all had so much fun.
Peterson says one of Annie's greatest strengths was being so accepting of everyone and making them feel very important. An athlete at a small school near Watertown had her track season cut short because of medical complications.
Ramsey Wood is a freshman in high school and competes on the track and volleyball teams at Florence Henry. After having some breathing problems in early April and just thinking a rib was out of place, they later went in for tests and found out she had classic Hodgkin lymphoma.
I looked at my doctor and she said it's a form of cancer, and I lost it from there, and I was crying for a couple hours after that. It was really just hard to hear. I think it hurt the most just knowing that I wouldn't be able to run anymore.
She's amazing. She blows my mind with how well she has handled all of this. I don't think I could be as strong as she is.
They will be back in Sioux Falls today for some additional tests and to figure out a treatment plan with the possibility of starting chemo on Monday. There's a GoFundMe as well as a t-shirt sale happening to help. That information is attached to this report on KELOLAND.com.
Some neighbors are complaining about the increased traffic noise coming from the interstate after a building was torn down in southern Sioux Falls.
The city is in the process of buying up properties along 41st Street near Cliff Avenue because it's in the floodplain, including the old Schmidt Music Building. When the city tore it down, neighbors say the noise level went up.
It's terrible. That's the best way to explain the noise level is terrible.
The city says before anything can be done, it, along with the state, will conduct an environmental impact study to check the noise levels. The city says once that's complete, something will get done. There's still time to sign up for a blood drive outside our KELOLAND news station. You can donate blood on Monday, May 15th from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. We have a few appointments still open, mainly in the afternoon.
This is part of the Flying for Life blood drive, which is a friendly competition between Avera Care Flight and Sanford Air Med to see who can get the most people to donate blood.
As a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, weather today, well, watching the skies here in northeast Nebraska. We've got a chance of severe weather and an enhanced risk of severe weather in northeast Nebraska. Some of this kind of spills over into extreme southern South Dakota. We'll see how many storms we gather here, but certainly hail is your number one threat. There is an attendant tornado risk with a couple of these storms too, and that is centered area of enhanced severe weather. We shall see again. The risk is there for Sioux Falls, at least in that slight category. We'll be here to monitor that. Now, we've started the day with a couple of areas of showers and thunderstorms. The west has been very rainy. We've ended up over 1 inch and 7/10 so far in Rapid City, and more rain's coming there. The question, again, look at that spot or two there south of Winter and then into northeast Nebraska. Those are your supercell thunderstorms. If they develop, that's what's going to produce those big hailstones that direction. And then some of this is going to try to lift north in a few different clusters. There could easily be some gaps in between the storms, so don't just assume everybody's going to get strong weather, but there will be areas that will. And obviously, that's what we'll need to pay attention to on the weather watches and warnings later today and this evening. Now, the overnight forecast continues some chances of rain. I would expect tomorrow, as the low pressure area begins to push a little bit farther to the east, there'll be more rain in southwest Minnesota and portions of northwest Iowa on Saturday. Just general scattered showers behind the system to end the day on Saturday. So that's how the setup is. Again, low pressure center on the maps you can clearly see moving toward our area. So we'll be on top of all the weather developments as they arise. Here are the details today. Temperatures likely in the 70s, at least in Sioux Falls at 75. 80 in Yankton. Cooler, though, and windy in Rapid City, only 60 with more rain coming in. And a system like this is a good soaker for the Black Hills. Helps us to establish some greenery, and I think it's a good, really a good thing overall for most of the West here. As we look at the setup next week, we are going to dry back out again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, even Thursday. We've kind of kept things pretty quiet for a segment of time. And for Aberdeen, it looks like better chances of rain developing the next 24 to 48 hours. After that Sunday morning time frame, then we're going to dry out and be in the 70s early next week. Here in central South Dakota, also looking at plenty of 60s and 70s. So the weather outlook overall in pretty good shape for, again, more rain where we could use it. The spots that are still dry, expect that there's chances coming our direction. And Rapid City, more rain there too. Check out more details online at KELOLAND.com.